Hey guys, Dino at Speed Circuit here, and I just wanted to give a quick update on our Evo 10 Speed Circuit Turbo Kit. So I want to point out a few features. This is the first kit that is complete. We started this car earlier today, and there's a few things that we still need to do in general. However, this is pretty much complete. So let's go over a few features, and we'll start with the intake. It's a 4-inch intake through and through, including a 4-inch MAF, and it doesn't step down or neck down to a 3.5-inch. Now, people have pointed out that they're worried about the air not being metered properly with the 4-inch MAF, but we have a solution for that. We have an air straightener that we designed and produced to combat that. So, I'm going to put this filter aside for now. So you have the air straightener going in, so the MAF gets a good reading. So far it seems fine, but we haven't driven the car yet, so that's yet to be proven, but this is what we're trying, and if it doesn't work, we'll try something else. We obviously have a velocity stack here, which is a big help. And right here, we have a nice heat shield, so that way we don't get the issue where when the fans kick on, it disrupts the signal to the MAF and gives us kind of inconsistent readings and causes idling issues. At this time, the intake is fully aluminum and has a Vangeon coupler here. So, it has degrees of flexibility there, which it can't really move right now because the bypass valve is on. But if you wanted to take off your intake, hypothetically, you would just have to loosen this somewhere. And then, press that button and flip the switch and the intake would come off. So no more fighting with couplers or anything back there. It's pretty much straightforward, and it's a toolless design. So you could technically take the intake off without the need of a tool, with the exception of, whatever you had to do here. So moving on, this is a G30 770 Turbo. And I've not tuned one of these before, but we're gonna see what it does. Now, as you can see here, we have the water feed line to the turbo, which is has fittings for AN, and it has a hard line that we made that goes directly to the turbo there. So it doesn't get in the way of anything. And what's really nice about it is that you don't have to run, a rubber hose that could melt or anything like that. And it's all AN fittings, and it's all secure, and it's all very clean. Now, on the way out from the compressor, we have this 2.5-inch elbow welded to the turbo. It's an aluminum cast elbow, and the reason we do that is because a lot of the big turbo kits and just anything where you kind of have a lot of heat here and a silicone coupler right off of the compressor outlet, the issue you run into is on certain days where there's a lot of heat, sometimes the silicone will become kind of slippery and greasy and slide off, even if you have the clamp all the way tight. Or in a worse situation, the silicone coupler will fail or split or get weak and rupture or something. It's basically inevitable that will happen. It's just a matter of putting it in a situation to make it happen. To combat this on stock frame turbos and different turbo setups, we've created heat shields in the past, and it does a really good job at helping that. But in our kit here, we don't even need the heat shield because we have aluminum there. And again, here for the upper pipe, we have another Vangeon coupler, and there's flexibility there. And again, if I want to remove it there, I could just push the button and pop that off, and it'll come right off. But unfortunately, we have to have the couplers down here in order to connect it to the intercooler. But at a future date, we might make a change here. So that goes to the intercooler. That's fine. Lower intercooler pipe there is stock, no big deal. So let's talk about some of the other features we have here. Of course, we have the water return line back here. This one, not this one. So this one here is a stainless steel braided line, and that runs around to down here. I don't know if you can really see it in the video. but it's basically down here. And again, it's an AN fitting, and we have special adapters that we modify so that way it connects directly to the hard line, same as this. So we have a fitting here that takes your hard line and converts it into a -6, and you know, you don't have to fight with rubber hoses or worry about the rubber hoses getting too hot or touching something and melting, and then you leak out all your coolant and then you have a turbo failure or something. You don't have to worry about that with our kit. One of the main themes of this kit is to have something that is reliable and that isn't going to fail in all these common situations that other turbo setups for this car fail. We've dealt with a lot of turbo setups throughout the years, and you know, there's a lot of shortcomings that a lot of them have, and then we have to do extra work to prevent failures. I want our kit to be resilient to these failures right out of the box. You shouldn't have to, if you're spending this kind of money, you shouldn't have to jump through hoops in order to make your turbo kit reliable. So that's the water lines. There's an oil return line, which you almost certainly can't see, but basically it's half a hard line and half a -10 AN line, and it goes, you know, into the stock oil return area. And the reason we do it that way is so that way there's some flexibility in the line, so it's not likely to crack or anything like that. It has to be half a hard line because we need to be able to direct it away from the runners, so that way we don't have a situation where the AN line is resting up against the header anywhere like that. Then here we have a special flange that we made that will allow us to go from the outlet of the turbo as a V-band to a 3.5-inch downpipe. We had to custom make that flange, and that's going to be another, you know, production item in our kit. And you know, obviously here we have the 3.5-inch downpipe, which is, it's a thick boy, so I'm expecting nice results out of that. We have a spot here for a wideband sensor, and you don't have to use it, it's only an option. A lot of people have their wideband in their you know, high flow cat or their test pipe, whatever it is they run. Some people don't like to have a sensor here. I just like to have the option of having it here, so that way you have something that's easy to change out or easy to deal with or calibrate without having to get under the car. You can see the manifold is down here. I don't know what we can really say about that right now, other than it's got the 1.5-inch runners on it. Back here you could see the 50mm wastegate, and that is currently set up for an open dump configuration. That is about it for this time. There's a few other tricks that we're working on, but that's it for the most part. So stay tuned. We're going to be providing more details soon and hopefully some results. Now this is an MR, so it's not going to make the peak amount of power that it would if it was on a GSR, for example. And now that we have these kits, or at least this one, finished, we should have a better understanding of what the final cost is going to be to produce these. And we're just going to have to test it and make sure that we don't need to address anything more. So I know a lot of you are interested in purchasing this kit, and we may be considering accepting pre-orders for it in the not too distant future, but I didn't want to take anyone's money until we had something completed and something that we could at least prove somewhat. So I'm excited that after all this time we're finally getting somewhere here, and I thank everyone for their patience. So stay tuned. As for the price of the kit, like I said, I still have to figure that out. The only thing I can say with any amount of certainty that it's probably going to be the most expensive kit ever available for this car. So if you're looking for a budget kit or something, on the cheaper end, this is not for you. I understand not everyone can afford the more expensive stuff. However, just due to the specs of this kit and the way we designed it and the way we're manufacturing it, it just costs more to make. So unfortunately, that's the way it is. And you know, for example, most kits don't come with a velocity stack. Most kits don't come with a 4-inch intake. I don't know of any that do. I don't know of any kits that have Vangin couplers. You know, those are $100-something for each one. Most kits don't come with the elbow welded there. Most kits have rubber lines for the coolant feed and return lines. They don't have AN fittings. They don't have adapters. They don't have a hard line here. No other kit has a 3.5-inch downpipe. This is all V-band. This is expensive. No other kit has a 50mm wastegate. So, you know, the Garrett G Series turbos are about the most expensive turbos you can get. It is what it is. They cost more to buy, and you know that means they cost more to sell. So, you know, again, unfortunately, if you're looking for a kit that's more of a value kit or a budget-friendly kit, this is not it. However, we're prioritizing making it the best possible kit, and with that comes cost. So if that's what you're looking for and you want something that's reliable, easy to work on, and that will hopefully perform very well, stay tuned, and I'll see you guys in the future.